Who do you think wins in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me.
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd? You know, that's one of my favorite fighters. But yeah, no.
Yeah, Floyd Mayweather's a GOAT. Oh, absolutely. But Terrence Crawford will whoop his ass. He would beat Floyd Mayweather. I'm telling you right now, he will beat Floyd Mayweather too.
Canelo said he's way better than Mayweather. What do you think to that?
Who, Terrence?
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Of course he is.
I was very impressed with Canelo at 21. But Mayweather was still technically more sound. I think Crawford is better. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because it's bigger. But Mayweather is definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, you know, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is...
Floyd Mayweather asked for a fight in the future, and Terrence Crawford responded. When Floyd Mayweather was compared to Terrence Crawford, Crawford said that Mayweather was the best boxer of his time, while Crawford is the best boxer of his. He also said that they shouldn't be compared because they each made their mark at a different time, which makes each of their accomplishments unique.
Everyone is going to start making comparisons with your legacy to Floyd Mayweather. How do you feel you compare with Floyd with the resume you have now?
Listen, Floyd was the greatest in his era. I'm the greatest in my era. It ain't no need to compare me to Floyd or Floyd to me.
Sean Porter also talked about the ongoing comparisons between Floyd Mayweather and Terrence Crawford. For example, they talked about who would win if they ever fought. He admitted that he didn't know the answer, but he praised Crawford as someone who always figures things out, saying that he was like a chess master with a high fighting IQ. Porter pointed out that Crawford is the only other boxer who is usually talked about in that way. He did say, though, that in fighting, there is always an OG that you can't beat. He thinks Floyd Mayweather is the best boxer ever.
We had a lot of comparisons between Terrence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather. We've even had the conversation to go as far as who would win in the fight between Terrence and Floyd. And I truly don't know the answer to that question.
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah. Who will win that fight?
Floyd.
Floyd will win that
yes,
fight.
Sir. I love you, Terrence.
Always figures it out.
Yeah, he's
a chess master.
Yeah, his IQ in that
The funny thing about it is Terrence has been the only other guy that people can say he always figures it out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's true.
But you gotta have an OG somewhere.
Anybody else? Yeah.
There's an OG
Somebody
somewhere.
got to pioneer, right? Yeah, you got to.
There's an OG you can't out-figure out somewhere. And I just believe Floyd is that OG you can't out-figure.
However, when asked who would beat Floyd Mayweather at his best, Terrence Crawford said without a doubt that he would win. He also said that Floyd was one of his favorite fights, but he still had faith in his own skills and would pick them over anyone else's.
Who do you think wins in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me.
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd? You know, that's one of my favorite fighters. But yeah, nah.
Tim Bradley also talked about a possible fight between Terrence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather. He said that even though Floyd is without a doubt one of the best fighters of all time, he thinks Crawford would win. Bradley said that Crawford has all the tools to worrying Floyd. He pointed out that Mayweather had trouble in the early rounds against Zob Judah, who is a good boxer, but not as good as Crawford. He made it clear that Floyd was never really at ease when facing southpaws and would often reach out with his right hand. Bradley said Floyd would be caught and probably put to sleep if he tried it against Crawford, who is a very good back foot counterpuncher.
Yeah, Floyd Mayweather's a GOAT. Oh, absolutely. But Terrence Crawford will whoop his ass. He would beat Floyd Mayweather. I'm telling you right now, he will beat Floyd Mayweather too. He will beat him too. He got everything it takes to beat Floyd. Floyd struggled in the first half against Zob Judah. Zob Judah, a damn terrific fighter. Terrific fighter, but he ain't no damn Terrence Crawford. Especially from the southpaw position. Floyd didn't like fighting southpaws. Floyd reached with that right hand. You think he's gonna reach against one of the best back foot counterpunchers in the game? He gonna reach with that right hand against Crawford? He gonna get slept reaching with that back hand. The way he reaches with...
Shane Mosley added to the Crawford vs. Mayweather debate by saying that Terrence Crawford is the better boxer. He told them that Crawford is bigger, has fought in more weight classes, and is a better all-around fighter. Mosley knew how great and talented Mayweather was, but he thought Crawford's long reach and size would give him an edge and make it harder for Floyd to respond. He went on to say that Mayweather's record speaks for itself, but Crawford would have won a head-to-head fight because he was stronger and more flexible.
You think's better out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. Like he's actually he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather is really good too, though. You can knock him as well. He's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because it's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is it.
Jeff Mayweather talked about Floyd Mayweather's fight with Canelo Alvarez. He said that the fight was scored as a majority decision because one judge, CJ Ross, wrongly gave it to Floyd while the other gave it to Canelo. He said that Floyd, who was 36 years old and thought to be at the top of his game, was going up against Canelo, who was only about 23 years old. Even though Floyd seemed to have won, Jeff pointed out that Canelo was able to hurt him so early in his career. This shows how skilled and dangerous the young Mexican was already.
Also, if we remember, Canelo, that time was a razor-thin decision. Floyd won, majority decision. CJ Ross had it with what a lot of people had as a draw. And then the other two judges scored it for Floyd, of course. And that was a Floyd at the top of his game with a very green Canelo with very little experience, and he still took him, into deep waters. So
yeah, what was Canelo? What, 20-something? 20 what? 23, 25?
Yeah, I'm still very, very young in the game, obviously.
Redmond Edwards said that a fight between Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford would have been very close because each is very good at different things. Fans shouldn't compare them, though. Instead, they should let Crawford enjoy his time as a great boxer. He said it was too bad the match never happened because they were from different times. Floyd worked for PBC, and Crawford was about 10 years younger. A lot of famous boxers, like Floyd and Roy Jones Jr., have taken public shots at each other. He said that younger fighters look up to them, and that their acts set a bad example.
No, it's a close fight. It's things Floyd do better, it's things that Bud do better. But I'd rather not say, because I'm not going to just lie and just say nothing, and make up something just to. I got my opinion on, how the fights would go, and, but I think we should just let the man enjoy his great moment. He's a great fighter. And I see a lot of immature stuff, and I don't like the way things is going with Floyd and Roy. They two guys that a lot of the younger guys look up to, and they taking shots at each other in the media because of the who's better and all that kind of stuff. So, I just want to see Bud enjoy his moment. And, unfortunately, they didn't fight. They could have made, they kind of two different eras, though. Even though they was fighting at the same time, Floyd kind of was doing his different thing over there with PBC, and Bud's a lot young, about 10 years younger than him. So it didn't happen, and we got to just live with it.
Greater refers to history and experience. But Terence Crawford's most recent win shows that he's a better fighter than Floyd Mayweather. He said Floyd would never have been brave enough to do what Crawford did, saying it was like Sugar Ray Leonard coming back from a long break to beat Marvin Hagler. At middleweight, Crawford had never fought, and at super welterweight, he had only done it once. He did, however, weighed up to 168 pounds to fight one of the best middleweights and super middleweights of all time. A current, undisputed winner and the greatest boxer of all time, shows stress that this kind of risky behavior had never been seen before and was something Mayweather would never do.
Why is Terence Bud Crawford greater than Floyd Mayweather? Or better than Floyd Mayweather? Greater is a little bit different. Greater is impact, resume, all that shit, but better. Terence Bud Crawford, after what he did last night, is better than Floyd Mayweather because there is no way Floyd Mayweather would attempt to do that crazy shit. See, that's the insane Sugar Ray Leonard versus Marvin Hagler after being gone for 5 years type shit. never being at middleweight, first fight at middleweight, being against Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Terrence Bud Crawford, never been a middleweight. The most he's been is super welterweight, and he was only there once. And he's fighting at 168 against one of the greatest super middleweights of all time, one of the greatest middleweights of all time, pound for pound, one of the greatest fighters of all time, reigning undisputed champion at super middleweight. That is unheard of, and that's something that Floyd Mayweather wouldn't.
Showbiz the adult, on the other hand, told Canelo Alvarez that he couldn't do anything else against Terrence Crawford because of Crawford's long list of accomplishments. He said that Errol Spence must have felt much more helpless than Canelo. This is why Crawford was one of the most avoided fighters of his time, he said. He said that he was like Black Murderers Row veterans like Charlie Burley and Eddie Booker, and that promoters and top fighters avoid him. He told Showbiz that he had doubts about Crawford in the past. But after losing about $30,000 betting against him, he swore he would never do it again, saying in jest that he couldn't afford it with kids, a house, and a business.
Canelo is saying there wasn't shit I can do in there. Errol Spence had to have been in there like, holy shit. It brings light to his resume. Everybody does it. We kind of knew that Bob Arum had Manny Pacquiao avoid Terrence Crawford. PBC, welterweights, all avoided him. I am here to give credit to Terrence Crawford for being one of the most dubbed fighters in history. Like Bob Foster, like Black Murderers Row, Charlie Burley and Eddie Booker and all those guys. Terrence Crawford by himself is Black Murderers Row of this era. Now, do I need Terrence Bud Crawford to continue fighting? Hell no. For what? Terrence Crawford, we know what you are. I am the first one to say, didn't believe it. But brother, if you're watching Terrence Crawford, you by yourself has cost me at least $30,000. That's enough for me to be convinced. I would never bet against this man ever again. I can't afford it. I have a house, I got kids, a business to run. I can't afford it.
Annie Garcia and Angel Garcia also had something to say about Canelo Alvarez's loss to Terrence Crawford. They said that Canelo may have been mentally and spiritually worn out after battling at such a high level for years and not fighting in for years. They said that Crawford was mentally fresh and smart at the right time, and praised her for being able to stay focused and perform at such a high level. They stressed that just staying mentally ready for the fight is a success in and of itself, not just beating your opponent.
Everything you said about fighting not being there spiritually, mentally, you think that might have affected Canelo, or that was just a skill difference was too wide?
You know, I do think he was a little mentally tired. He's been at that level for a long time. Right. So 11 fights in 4 years. That's a lot.
Timing was perfect for Crawford.
Yeah.
He said it himself at the press conference. See, timing was everything. Perfect timing, everything.
That's right.
His whole career was on timing.
He was mentally tired, but you gotta give Crawford credit, man. To keep your mind that mentally fresh and sharp and go out there and perform like that, that's a win itself. Not even just beating your opponent. For your mind to be that fresh, come fight.
Oscar de la Hoya also praised Terrence Crawford's performance against Canelo Alvarez, saying that he knew what would happen like a fortune teller and that Crawford fought beautifully and dominantly. He showed Canelo to be useless by keeping his feet firmly on the ground while Crawford moved smoothly. He pointed out that Crawford had moved up 3 weight classes to put on such a show. De la Hoya didn't accept age as an excuse. He said that Crawford was older than Canelo and that Crawford's behavior in the ring made Canelo look stupid. He also said that the only other top-level fighters Canelo had fought were Mayweather, Bivol, and Crawford, and that all 3 of them had done better than him, showing how skilled and masterful Crawford was.
It makes me horny. Yeah, baby. To tell you I told you so. I told you. I predicted the Canelo Crawford fight like a goddamn fortune teller.
You're the Oracle?
Canelo's feet were cemented on the canvas as he was hitting air. The f was that? Props to Crawford.
Thank you.
He came up 3 weight classes and fought a beautiful fight.
Good job.
What a great performance.
Did you get what you was looking for?
Like taking candy from a baby.
My candy!
He just played with Canelo, made him look silly. And before you start with your shit about Canelo being old, just know that Crawford is older.
I'm too old.
That's not an excuse here. Look, I promoted Canelo's entire career.
Put some respect on it.
And it was a huge flop.
How do you like them, man?
The only real fighters he's faced were Mayweather, Bivol, and Crawford, and they all toyed with...
Eddie Hearn talked about a possible repeat between Canelo and Crawford and said he doesn't think Canelo Alvarez will want to fight Terrence Crawford again. A repeat clause may be in the deal, but it is rare for Canelo to agree to fight without one. He also doesn't think Canelo will agree to run that back after the clear loss.
I don't think Canelo will want a rematch. I think there's a rematch clause, I don't know, but
there's
no.
not, yeah.
So, you know, it's very unusual for Canelo to go into a fight without a rematch clause.
Yeah.
But for me, I just can't see Canelo going, yes, I want to run that back.
Brian Bull McIntyre, Terence Crawford's experienced trainer, says he wants Crawford to rest, enjoy the holidays, and even travel before going back to the gym to be evaluated again. He made sure that Crawford still wants to fight. Some people, like Shaker Stevenson, think Crawford has done everything, but Bull Mac said he likes working with Crawford and fully supports his choice. Bull Mac says he is ready and willing to train Crawford for 2 or 3 more fights if Crawford decides to do so.
I'd like to see him just get some rest, man. Spend some time with his family. Holidays is coming up. You know, maybe do a little traveling and then get back in the gym and then assess where he at after that.
So he wants to fight again?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I think that's good to hear because some people, Shakur said he doesn't want to see him fight.
Well, you know, that's Shakur. You know how fighters be like, okay, you accomplish everything, but, you know, he's a damn good fighter. I love working with him. But if he say, let's go 2 or 3 more times, let's go 2 or 3 more times.
Abel Sanchez praised Terence Crawford's work and said it was so good that he should leave on a high note so he can spend more time with his family. He said that Crawford's future work would never be as good as that fight, comparing it to a perfect sunset. Sanchez then said that Crawford's image is already well known and that no one can improve it after such a heroic performance in front of 70,000 people.
Terence, after that virtuoso performance, I would love for him to retire and enjoy his family. I don't think he can do anything else that's going to top this.
Right off into the sunset.
Yeah, man, listen, he fought a great fight. No, there's nobody out there that can give him that kind of step up for his legacy. His legacy is cemented. Who's gonna give him that kind of going out like he did last night? You know, in front of 70,000 people, he fought a virtuoso fight.
Crazy.
Carl Froch praised Terence Crawford's performance against Canelo Alvarez. He said that even though the fight was close at times, Crawford's skill and knowledge of boxing let him beat and outthink Canelo, even beating him in the later rounds. Froch said that Crawford seemed to have a very easy night, which is surprising given how good his opponent was. Also, he said that it wouldn't have mattered that Canelo was past his best because Crawford was so good. Froch praised Crawford's ability to perform at such a high level at age 38, saying that whatever he's doing keeps him young and sharp. He also said that it was an amazing feat.
Terence Crawford dominated that fight so much, and I know it was a little bit nip-tuck at times, but when you look at the art of pugilism and the skill set that came from Terence Crawford and the way he dismantled, dissected and beat him at his own game towards the end, took Canelo on and beat him at his own game. Terence Crawford it was an easy night's work for him, dare I say, an easy night's work against Canelo Alvarez. And I don't want to rain on this parade, but Canelo is definitely past his best. But I don't think it would have mattered because Crawford was that good. 38 years old. How does he do it? He's on the Cobra juice. Whatever the Cobra's taking, he's like a youth. What he's just done is unbelievable. And I'd actually like to see him retire.
That's all for the video today. Then, how do you feel about this? What do you think about the Crawford vs. Floyd match? Please write your thoughts in the comments. If you liked the video, please subscribe and click like. See our other movies on the right side of the screen as well.